Okay, we're going to go ahead and call this September meeting in North Highlands Recreation and Park District to order. First item on the agenda is the approval of the August 11th minutes. I have a couple of comments. So first of all, I thought it was I that adjourned the meeting, first of all.
Did I say Drew?
You put her down as adjourning the meeting. And then payment of the bills. Did Mr. Monk and Ms. Carson show up for the payment of the bills?
It doesn't say.
I was not here.
No, it says 5 ayes. I know.
All right.
And I just got that today.
Really? You just caught that today?
Yeah, I just got it today. So, anything else? I was going to say, unless there was a mutiny and Diane took over the meeting.
She did.
So can I have a motion to approve the minutes with the aforementioned corrections?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstention?
Abstention.
One abstention. Chairperson's report. So for the next meeting, I will be arriving back that afternoon from the CSDA conference in San Diego. My flight gets in somewhere around 5, I believe it is. So hopefully I'm going to be here on time, but just if I'm a little late, I'll get here as soon as I can. Just want everybody to know. And I'm glad that everyone's joining me on board. Comments from board members? Anyone have anything?
I just want to mention that the maintenance staff, even on weekends, do an excellent job in mitigating any tagging that occurs at any of the parks. A couple of weeks ago, on a Sunday morning, went by Brock, one of the buildings was tagged extensively from the two sides I could see from the street. By the time I came back from my errand, there were less than 2 hours. Someone was out there assessing it, and then later, when I drove by in the afternoon, it was like the tagging was never there. They did a beautiful job in making sure that the building was painted and you couldn't tell it was ever tagged.
Thank you. I'll let them know. Anyone else? All right. We'll go ahead and move on to reports from select meetings. I don't believe there's anything at this time. Administrator's report. Larry, is there anything you want to highlight or add to your report?
Not for mine.
Okay. Any questions for Larry? Scott? Oh, sorry. Okay, go ahead.
Did you have a question?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
I just wanted to, I felt like when I wrote the item about Sergio's actions last month, I maybe didn't give it enough notoriety. He really did a nice thing. The woman whose vehicle was taken while she was in our art class was very distraught. Her husband was upset, and we were all trying to be as helpful as we could in contacting the authorities and her family and everything. And here we are just a couple days later, and Sergio, knowing who the woman was and knowing what the vehicle looked like, spotted it over by McKinley, and in quick order we had contacted the vehicle owners, and they were able to get their vehicle back. So that's going above and beyond the Call of Duty, and I just wanted to let the board know his action and stuff.
Perfect. Questions?
Good job.
All right. So, you didn't write your own report this month?
I did actually write this. That was a typo. But I did write
I
this.
just checked.
I'll catch you flack from everywhere. You guys, I did write this.
Okay, that's fine. We actually do read these things. You know?
I know.
The sad thing is, I actually told him, I said, I corrected it, and when I sent it to Terry, I didn't correct it all the way.
It was, he sends me his draft of his one item or two items he puts on there. It's the same as mine, so when we go back and forth, I just overlook that. Yeah.
Do you have anything you want to add or highlight?
A couple things, actually, regarding the swim team. So the Colorado timing system came in August. So that's a big exciting thing for us. I know we put it in this year's budget to improve next year's team. They've come in and looked at it. We're actually going to go out and test it probably sometime this month. over at Highlands High School to make sure everything works. The pool is completely compatible for it, so it'll be a great thing. And we'll show you pictures of how it looks in the grand scheme of things. Right now, it just looks like a bunch of like really fancy stopwatches. But come next year, you know how important it is.
Well, there's different versions and variations of Colorado system.
Right.
So I'm assuming this is not a touch system?
No,
No.
it's
Okay.
not touches.
Okay, yeah, that's what
But
I was
the-
going to ask that question.
But for us, we're now with the curve,
Okay.
as opposed to behind the curve. And then also for the Highland Dolphin swim team, we have announced our head coach for the next year's swim team.
Okay.
Travis Bill is
Yeah.
going to be our head coach next season, and we're really excited for it. As you know, Travis has been around the team for
Long time.
a long time now. Brings a lot of knowledge. It's going to really help us grow to next year's team. Because we have a lot of grand ideas for next year. He's going to help us develop those grand ideas and
Okay.
really bring it to the stage. So
Anything else?
that's it for recreation.
Questions?
Good job. I'm proud of all of you guys, just to be associated with you, being on the staff, administration, and all of you, what you've done here for our community. I mean, you've really made some big differences and stepped up and filled the holes, and it's really noticeable in our community. So I just want to thank you.
Cool. Thanks, Mike.
All right. So, next on the agenda is correspondence. We have none. Next item is comments, reports from citizens organizations. I'm not going to read all this, but we do have two individuals who'd like to speak tonight. First one, Carolyn.
Yes, we're from Harvest Time, and we're just
Up to the
wondering-
podium, please.
Do we have to?
Yeah, because he can't get you
I
otherwise.
don't want to get me.
Well, that way you can go on the internet and watch this later. If you can come
I
up to
don't
the
have the
podium,
internet,
please.
so I won't be watching it.
Okay. If you come up to the podium, please, I appreciate it.
That's why I put your
You sit in the
paper
back when you
on the
come to the
first
podium.
one. I'll use this thing.
Oh, there's no mic there.
You know what, you just gotta stand there.
Okay, we are with Harvest Time, we're just wondering why we were increased 100% when nobody else was. We went from 20 to 40. Now, I don't think it's fair. We are all senior citizens, we're all on Medicare, all on Social Security.
So, no, yeah, please, yeah. go
I
ahead.
just sort of word to understand, when she mentioned going from 20 to 40, $20 a year to $40 a year, and just so you know, I'd love to say that the Harvest Time was the only one who experienced an increase, but that wouldn't be true. The
I know
board-
the rest of them increase,
Right.
So-
increase 100%.
Well, I'll try to respond to that. As far as we were able to go back and look, the $20 that has been a volunteer donation. It's not been mandatory. And as far as we're aware, it's been in place for about 10 years. So there has been no increase in that 10-year period. And the board, you're aware of how we've gone back and realized there's a lot of fees that have been stagnant and not adjusted for, unfortunately, many more years than 20. The two changes that we did this year, we went from making it a donation to it's mandatory. We split the $40 into beginning of the year and halfway through the year, so that way it doesn't impact the participants all at one time. And to put it in perspective, the cost, if we had everybody pay, and there's 50, 60 people that routinely show up, if everybody were to pay, we would recover about 25% of the actual cost, but not everybody does pay. If by making it mandatory and making it $40 a year, we still are subsidizing the program by over 50%. And the board has made a kind of a policy that we want to look very closely at those programs that we subsidize. And again, in this case here, we're not actually asking the participants for the full cost recovery. But again, 10 years, it went from 20 as a donation to 40 as a fee, split into two separate payments of 20.
So, from a board perspective, I've been on the board for almost 20 years. Ever since I've been on the board, we've always looked at programs, try to make them 100% cost recovery, because what the property taxes go for is the maintenance of the parks and the general facility and admin staff. Now, so we had to take a hard look at a lot of programs, and staff's been doing this, and some programs we haven't looked at, like Larry said, for 10 years. So, you know, I apologize as a board member, but again, like he says, we're still not even covering half of the cost of the program.
Well, I think you're gonna lose a lot of members,
You know,
and you're not gonna be making money off us, but.
Well, we're losing money now.
You're not making money anyway, but you're not gonna be making as much.
Right. I mean, we appreciate your input.
And Mark, I would like to ask you why you didn't come in to the second meeting like you said you would. You could have at least come and said, I don't have time.
I'll speak for Mark on that. We had 2 people on vacation that day. On that day, we do a county run where we have to bring all our accounts payable for that month down to the county offices. I told Mark he needed to go down to the county, so it's my fault. I didn't know that he was gonna come speak to you, and I directed him and sent him elsewhere. I'm sorry, I apologize. But I do know that the prior meeting, I believe it was, Mark spent an hour talking and addressing the harvest time, and went over the fee. So it's not that it hadn't been discussed and asked questions and answered questions that had already occurred. So I'm the one to blame for that, not Mark.
Okay, I have a question on the back programs. You said it was a donation, but I started with that in 2014. And it was a fee on the flyer that you sent out. It was fee, not donation at that time.
I've been here almost 3 years. It's been a donation.
We'll see, but it was printed wrong then.
Okay. But we have, again, if you want to look at it from reality, we were getting less than half the people paying. Everybody was enjoying the rewards of the program, but less than half the people were paying.
It's still like that.
And that's why we're trying to change it, so at
That's
least
right.
we can recover
Sorry,
approximately
Carolyn, where'd you
50%.
go? I didn't even take
Sure,
your
they're
spot.
fine.
I didn't want to take your spot. I just didn't want to.
And just so you know, we're well aware, we understand that a lot of people, not just seniors, but a lot of people in our community struggle to pay for a lot of programs. We offer after-school programs that parents struggle in finding the funds to pay, our summer programs and so forth. You know, we have a lot of people on scholarship because they just can't afford to pay. So we're well aware of that, but at the same time, my responsibility as the board holds me accountable is to make sure that we balance that budget, and to our best of our ability, we look at some programs that certainly pay for themselves, and there's some that we subsidize. Harvest Time, we've made a decision that it's going to have to be a program that which we subsidize, otherwise, if we had to hold you to the true cost, which would probably be closer to $100+ a year, we would not be able to raise those funds, and the program would fold. By doing it this way, even though we're charging, you know, we've doubled it and made it mandatory. We believe that we can still continue offering the program as long as people are interested. And we do understand $20 means a lot to a lot of people. At the same time too, boy, if there were people that really were in a tough bind, you know, let Mark know that, and you know, maybe we can find ways to help those people out. But again, 10 years we didn't raise the fee once.
See, but
So,
the problem was, my problem, I don't want to say it's everybody's problem, and it's not a problem, it's just a thought. Why increase it 100%? Why not an increase, a percentage increase? Why 100% for that one program and nothing? And the others can increase 100%. They've increased at all.
there's some we actually increased by probably 300 or
You know, that's
400%.
a big increase. Even if it was $1 and you increased it to $2, that's still 100%. And if you used to
understand.
pay the $1, that's what you budget for, and to double that, it's a big jump.
Mark, do you remember what
It's
was
a big
the,
jump.
if everybody attended every program and the program's in session, how much is it a class?
It would be $2 a class.
$2 a class. So that's, I understand that, you know, that's still $2 a class, but
Yeah.
that's still, you know, again, we're still subsidizing by over 50% of these at $2 a class.
Okay.
I just want to share it with you. I mean, actually, we want to tell you exactly what's
Because
going on.
Social Security hasn't had a raise since 2014. We're supposed to get a cost of living raise every year. And you can't tell me things didn't go up in those 2 years that there was no raise. But we haven't had a raise in 2014.
I understand.
So, but thanks for your.
So wait, I have
Why- why
something.
not?
Well, I have my hand up.
Oh, I didn't see
We're-
her.
we're-
Why
I'm a
didn't you
teacher,
tell?
I'm getting there. Hold on, I was letting them finish, but go ahead, Mike.
Man, shame on you.
Well, no, I didn't want to interrupt you two.
I don't want my picture in there.
So, I mean, we like the Harper's Club here, but what we found is that we had to start bringing the programs up into line with cost.
Okay.
And so we thought at the $1.66 a month per participant, that's the $20 a month, a year. We thought that that could absorb half the cost, and we'd absorb half. Other people's costs are gonna go way up, because they're gonna get in line so that their programs pay for themselves. As they told you, the programs have to pay for themselves, because
Yeah,
the
I
money from our
understand.
taxes, our property, are going to the parks. They are going to maintenance, the trucks, and all that stuff that go out there in the
And they're
neighborhood.
still going up.
Yes, and that's going up. And looking at 10 years of no increase of what we got for $20 10 years ago, we can't get for $40 today. You know, and it's going out of control.
You sure can.
But what else could you get for $40 a year? Not the light bill.
Not the PG&E bill.
No.
Oh, yes, sir.
No, so we're trying to keep you in a nice building with new floors, upgrades, and trying to keep the seniors here, because I'm coming up pretty quick, you too.
See, everybody.
We're coming up on the Harvest Club.
The point of it is, if you live long enough, you're gonna get there too.
We are going to get there.
You will get
And
there.
the 100%, I understand, like, why 100%? Why 100%? I
See,
hear
that
that,
seems so
right?
awful.
The 100% seems awful,
That's what I said. That
but the
seems
$1.66 doesn't,
awful. So, okay,
right?
thanks for your time.
That's all, that's the way I'm looking at it. So if you need some help, and some members need help, come here and ask.
Yeah, well, there's some members, and it will hurt to pay that extra $20. Well, maybe they haven't been paying at all, I don't know.
Maybe they haven't.
I don't know. I just know.
Well,
what
like I said, less than half the people have been paying.
I just know what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And since I've been there since May 2014,
We appreciate the fact that you did
and
pay.
I have been paying.
And sometimes
Yes, I know. I'm finding out little.
we try to find some
little
people in
bit
the
more and
community to
more
help
about
us
it.
sponsor. Other people that have money can share. You
It's-
know, what are we gonna do with it when we're gone? Nothing.
So,
We're gonna share. That's what we're gonna do.
Okay.
Come back again.
Thanks
We
for
need-
your time.
Look, we got seats for you, reserved. Put
Yeah, I
your-
can't feel all this.
We can reserve what's two right there for you.
Two right there. What?
Out of the
Thanks for coming out tonight. Thank you very much.
Appreciate you coming back.
Because we listen to you, we take into account next time. Okay?
Can they still go to the club if they don't pay?
That's not our call, that's their call.
Oh, okay, okay.
That's a
Can they
work
still
call.
go to that club if they don't pay the fee?
If, I tell you what, if someone has a sincere and realistic hardship, let me know. Okay? I'm not gonna let somebody not show up simply because if they cannot truly pay. You let me know, okay?
And that's, and just if I can interrupt really quick, that's one thing that Lyle and I have talked about when I presented that 45 minutes, is if somebody cannot make that fee, and has a difficult time paying it, just have, they can approach us and we can talk about it, we can waive that fee. We've actually done that in years past.
Oh, I'm not supposed to.
No, but we've actually done that in years past, where we've accommodated those people before, but it's something that Lyle and I have discussed.
Because,
We sent to the group as well.
can I bring a point up on that?
Sure.
It's kind of a sad situation, in a way. Some people say they can't afford, and you pay for them or whatever you do. They need to be quiet about it. Because then others that find out that they're coming
Right,
without.
I don't think
Well,
staff
So
would,
we're not, yeah.
They don't have to pay, so since, they need to be quiet about that.
right.
No, I understand. It's
Okay,
for special situations.
No, that's a one-on-one thing, anytime there's a waiver or scholarship.
That's everywhere you go. It
And
happens.
it's 100% private. I mean, we have told you in the past we've done that, but it's 100%.
It's private, but they talk.
I made $40 on a bake sale right here tonight. Right here. You don't see anything on our table, nothing.
Okay, thanks for your time.
You can stay for the rest of the meeting, it gets more exciting, you can stay for the rest of the meeting. We get more exciting. as
No,
we
I
go.
may open my mouth when I should. I didn't know to do that.
You're our constituent, so if you want to
No, I
stay.
haven't known to do that, so maybe I better not.
Right. Thank you though for coming. Thank you. All right, we'll go ahead and move on to item 9, unfinished business, which is done. So now we go on to item 10, new business. A, District Conflict of Interest Code Proposed Amendment. So we have basically two versions in our package. One is a red line version of what we're changing, and one, so the final version. Is correct.
And if I may interrupt, there's one error that I found.
In the red line version?
Actually, it's the same in both.
Okay.
If you go to page 4 on the clean copy, on number E, filing with the agency, it refers to our board as an advisory board. And so I will correct the word. It was in there about 5 times, so I'll end up correcting this, and the clean copy will delete advisory, and the red line will also have it removed as well.
What do we do, steal this for sunrise or something?
Pretty much.
Okay, I was pretty close.
Well, I tried to
You look like there's
I
something
tried
going
to get Kevin to send theirs.
Let's not reinvent the wheel. I'm all for it.
Well, what happens is when the county sent this out, we also got copies of our old one, which is 1977 was the last time we revised it. So we missed a couple times that we could revise it.
Okay.
But basically, we're updating it, and as Terry said, one of the districts had already jumped the gun and did theirs. We got copies of theirs. We got a copy from the county of the new language. It was easy to go in and take out the old and put in the new. And just a couple things probably got crisscrossed, and one was the word advisory. But assuming the board approves this tonight, we'll send this in and be way ahead of the October 2nd deadline. And then if there's any changes to be made, the county will send it back, and we'll alter the changes and send it back. Once the board approves this, and the lady I spoke to believes it'll probably happen after the first of the year sometime, then the board will approve all of them at one time.
Gotcha. So anyone have any
I looked at Isaac, and I'm all for the office manager being the file. What about wasn't he?
That's not for you though, that's for us. You guys still have, you still
Well,
have
so
your account.
then, wait, can we get something here? She's good at this. We're talking about all 700, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So unless you have any specific questions, that's pretty much it, is delete and add. The additions are in italics and the deletions are in red line.
If there's no questions, anyone want to make a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion to second. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed unanimously. Next item is item 10B, Park Bond AB 2444 update.
Well, you see that's probably the briefest report I've ever written, one sentence. 2 sentences, I apologize. I doubled it, 100%. AB 2444 died. It was supposed to, at one time, we thought it was going to be a shoo-in, and it was just going to be a debate between the governor and some of the legislators as to the amount. But I understand that there's just too many items on there that were a higher priority to the governor. And so we'll try again. This means it's been, by the time this shows up again, it'll be close to 15 years since we had a last park bond.
It's been that long.
It's almost, yeah, I think it's 13 right now. So it's that's how we are, able to get money to improve infrastructure. And in our area here, we probably, under the old system, would qualify for a good chunk of change. But without the funds, there's some funds still available, but they're so specific, such as stream bed improvements or things that may not apply to us. But we look at everyone that comes by to see if it's something that we look like we might qualify for. And if it is, then we certainly bring it to the board.
Is there anything we can do to help the next one?
Well, the process we used this time was that I know at least 4 times I wrote letters, and they were timed a certain way just as things were going up through the legislation and they're making approvals. And other special districts were doing, and city and county governments were also doing the same thing. After 35 years of doing this, I'd like to tell you that has a real impact. But I'd be lying to you if I told you it really did. I begin to think sometimes it's just numbers. Somebody tells the governor, hey, we got 350 letters.
Yeah.
I don't think the governor's read one. I don't think they make it a difference. I think at the end of the day, the governor knows what he wants to approve and what he doesn't want to approve. that. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe we have some influence, but obviously we didn't have enough.
All right, any other questions or staff? All right, next item is item
Payment of?
11, payment of the bill. Board members' opportunity to ask questions, get clarification of the bill. Terry is ready to go. And if no one has any questions, I'll take a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second. Okay, I have a motion, a second, is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion passed unanimously. We're about to go into a recess and then a closed session. But I want to let everybody know the next meeting of the Board of Directors, North Highlands Recreation Park District, will be Thursday, August 13, 2016.
August, huh?
Excuse me.
Yes,
I'm
Tom.
even reading it for goodness sakes.
Yeah.
October 13, 6:30 p.m. right here in North Highlands Rec Center. It may be a little later if the board chairs are. So this meeting is now recessed.